According to the Canadian Cancer Society, melanoma is considered the deadliest form of skin cancer and will touch the lives of close to 10,000 Canadians each year.
Well, with May being Melanoma and Skin Cancer Awareness Month, it is time to learn how we can protect ourselves as the summer sun returns. Please welcome back to the show dermatologist Dr. Renée Beach. Welcome back.
Welcome. So let's start, Dr. Renée, with defining what exactly is melanoma.
Yeah. Melanoma is a form of cancer, and it basically comes from your melanocytes. So those are the skin cells that are responsible for your pigment, regardless of your color. And with melanoma, although it's only 5% of skin cancers, it's actually the most deadly. So it can spread to other organs, known as metastasizing, and that's the reason why we as dermatologists take it very seriously.
What are some of the most common misconceptions around melanoma?
One of the most common ones is that it's due to ultraviolet radiation only from a burn. So it can happen, or it can happen really with cumulative sun exposure over a long period of time, or even a singular sunburn.
Wow.
Yeah, another misconception is that it can only happen in people who have an inherited condition, so it's hereditary. That's not true at all. In fact, hereditary forms of melanoma are very uncommon. They're only about 10% of all melanomas. Wow. Instead, it's far more easily acquired. And then I'd say the last one, and for me, probably the most disturbing, is that it only happens in light skin or white skin. That's not true. It can happen in any skin color.
Wow. So let's talk about risk factors, because you've said sun exposure is one of them, but are there other risk factors?
So backing it up a bit, a risk factor would be a condition, a behavior, a circumstance that puts you more at risk for skin cancer. One of them, in addition to ultraviolet radiation, would be simply having a lot of moles. So that definition can change. It can be more than 100, it can be more than 200, but when you are defined to have a lot of moles, essentially you have more opportunities for something to mutate into a risk. Another risk factor for people would be having light skin, or light-colored hair, light eyes, even redheads, because they don't have the same protective melanin that, for example, I have. And then having a personal history of skin cancer, particularly melanoma, is another risk, and that's because your body's already decided it can mutate these cells.
I see.
And then lastly, I would say a first-degree relative. So, you know, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, a first-degree relative who's had melanoma. And really, that's because you've had the same vacations. You've had the same circumstances, the same cottages, those shared experiences that would put you at risk.
So those are the risk factors. Then who is most at risk?
It's actually white men. It's actually white men. And I theorize because, you know, it's probably the perfect storm of outdoor work, yard work, taking your shirt off, golfing, those sorts of things that are disproportionately performed by men, along with probably a tendency not to seek care when they need it. And unfortunately, that can lead to a delay in diagnosis and a poor outcome. And, you know, in Canada, there's going to be about 9,000 melanomas this year, diagnosed exactly, and then about 1,200 people will actually die from it.
Wow. So how can we detect melanoma? Are there specific things that we should be looking out for?
Absolutely. So we know about A, B, C, D, E rules. Now that's A for asymmetry. So for example, one side doesn't look like the other. B is for border. So you draw a border around it and it's a jagged border as opposed to a smooth arc. C would be color variegation, so you know it's black, it's purple, it's white, it's all different colors. And then D, diameter, because generally over about 1 centimeter we start to get concerned, but really as a dermatologist the most important thing I want to know about is evolution. Has this changed? Did it look one way 6 months ago and now it looks completely different? Those are the key risk factors.
Okay, so summer is obviously around the corner. What can we do to protect ourselves?
There are many things. We know about sunscreen. It's not a secret anymore. So that means SPF 30. It should say protection from UVA and UVB, and ideally has zinc and titanium in it. And then we need to put on enough. So 30 grams or a shot glass size amount would be enough for the whole body.
Okay.
So sunscreen. And then on top of sunscreen, we want to make sure that we're layering our protection. So that means a wide brim hat, about 5 centimeters. It means using UV protective fabric. So there's actual UPF clothing that can be purchased and worn. And then it's making sure that, I gotta be honest, we gotta avoid the sun. I hate to be the Grinch, but literally 11 a.m. till 2 p.m., you just don't need to be out. You can find another time to do the activities. And then really, first and really important is check your skin. So each season, each quarter, it's really important to check your skin. And if I can say one thing, please check your palms, please check your soles. It's so important. And check your genitals.
Okay.
Because melanoma can happen in those places, and unfortunately, it has some of the deadliest outcomes there.
Wow.
This is
Dr.
so good
Renée
to
Beach,
know.
thank you so much. So insightful.
Thanks for watching. We've got lots more discussion and debates on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. Don't forget to click like and subscribe.